Hi guys. So yes, we are working on Finacle scripting today, and we've done this before. I just want us to just recap before I continue. I think we stopped somewhere. The last class we stopped at the point where we're trying to insert into the database, right? But I'm gonna start from the beginning again to recap on what we have learned before now, so that it will serve as a form of revision. Okay. Now, what is Finacle scripting? You know, Finacle scripting is the script. It's called FSCRIPT. It's a language of Finacle Core Banking application. It helps us to perform all our business logics. Finacle, like I always say, Finacle script, like I always say, is the life of Finacle application, Finacle Core Banking application. For anything, any process to run in Finacle, it's calling a script. Right? And today we're going to be doing writing the script, learning how to write the script, and which or what functions to use at when we want to. Okay. This is not something you learn once and think you are going to learn it or know it. It's something that you need to practice over time. And, at the end of the day, you'll be all right. Okay. Now, from what we have here, we've done this already in class. I think I shared this file with some of you guys. But I'm going to do a recap, like I said, on everything. Okay. So up here, you can see that we have some descriptions, right? Up here, this is not mandatory. This is just for us to say, okay, this is what we're trying to do, the scope of our project. You can see where I wrote project description. And the first thing, like I always tell people, the first thing you need to do in any programming language is you need to understand the requirement. If you understand the business requirement, you'll be able to, 70% of the job has been done, right? When you understand the requirement. So we have outlined or listed the requirement for this training purpose. For the training purpose, what we're going to build here is a system that validates our banking account number. Then use the KIF ID. KIF ID is the customer information ID of that account, right? To confirm if the account has multiple. Okay, for instance, you have an account. Remember that some of you can have multiple accounts in the same bank, right? So we're using the KIF ID. KIF ID is like an identifier that identifies. It's unique to every customer. If you have 20 accounts in a bank, they will all have the same KIF ID, right? So we're going to use the KIF ID. So from the account number, we're going to fetch the KIF ID, then use the KIF ID to confirm if you have other accounts on that in that bank. And then after that, we're going to insert the customer details into a custom table, the database, and then also stating the number of accounts that the customer has in that bank. Okay. If you look at this, we have a hash. We have hashtags here all the way, and in other places in the script, you have hash. You can look around and see you have hash. What this hash does, just like some programming language, all the programming languages you have has a way of commenting. We call it comments. What it does is that whatever comes after this hash sign, some call it pound sign, whatever comes after this hash sign, system does not recognize it. System treats it like a white space. White space is here where you have nothing, right? So whatever you write and you start writing it with hash, system treats it as a blank space. So one of the reasons why we use hash signs or to comment out some things. It's either to describe it, just like we've done here. We've described what we're trying to do, the date, the author, and other details about it. We also use it to do what? Okay, description as well. Describe what we're trying to do below, underneath, or whatever. We can also decide to say, okay, at this point, I don't think this block is needed. Okay, this is a very clear example. You can see that at this point, we had something here, but because we didn't want to remove this particular thing, we wanted to try it. Okay, look at this. You can see that at this point, we tried to do what we call, we try to initialize this variable, directly. But in this other one below, we are using the bind variables. You can see up here, right? We're using svar for it, bind variables. Don't get confused. I'm going to, do a recap so that you can understand all the terms using, right? But for now, one thing you should understand is that comments, the functions of comment is that, for instance, I still don't want, this can be useful later. It's not like it's bad, but I don't want to use it at this time. And I don't want system to execute it. And I don't want to remove it from my file. I just put a hash on it, and then system will not read this file, this line. System will not read it, and that will be that for that. Yeah. Awesome. Okay, let's start from the beginning. The first thing you need to do when writing a Finacle script, let me see, sorry. The first thing you need to do when writing a Finacle script is this syntax, start. If you don't have this, right, that system will not understand it. The application will not understand it as a Finacle script. That's as simple as that. Okay? When you have the start, you make sure that you have an end. If you check below here, you see how the end is. End, right? Already, from here, anything that happens inside this entire place now is considered as a Finacle script. This is how you do it. You have the start tag and the end tag. That's the syntax of how to write it, okay? Now, from what you can see, which I don't have here, but let me add it. We'll have trace on, and then we can have trace off. That is not mandatory. However, let me tell you what it's used for. Trace off, trace off. Now, in Finacle script, trace on and trace off is not mandatory. However, you use it to track what you're doing in the system. Okay, when you test or run your script or run a process in the Finacle application, and